Yo, what up? It's your boy Tom, and it's Wednesday, my dudes. You know what that means. The Fusion Festival is underway, and this is what we're bringing to it. So here is Metalfoes True Draco, very similar to what we were playing during the NR Festival. But for this build, we've got 3 of all of the Metalfoes, including Bismugear and Melcaster, but only 1 copy of Vanisher. But Vanisher is kinda based, if you ask me. And then along with that, just 1 of each of the True Draco monsters here, not including Dreyeth the Third, of course, because that card is sussy. 2 copies of Summoner's Art, just 2 additional copies of Volflame, 1 Metalfoes Fusion, 1 Parafusion, and 1 Full Metal Fusion, and then 1 counter and 1 combination. I'm just playing one-ofs of all of the spells and traps. If you have a different ratio in mind that you enjoy better, go ahead, but 1 of each is a fairly diverse setup, especially for this build here. And then moving on with the rest of the spells, 1 Dragonic Diagram, 2 Heritage, 2 Disciples, and 2 Super Polymerization. Now, the funny thing with this is that Metalfoes has technically one of the best Super Poly targets in the game. I'll get into that in a second. And then the rest of the traps, aside from the counter and the combo, just 2 True King's Return and 2 True Draco Apocalypse. The extra deck is just a bunch of Metalfoes, just all of them, and then just some random fusions that may or may not occasionally come up with Super Poly. Perhaps, maybe. But yeah, here's the thing. Metalfoes Crimsonite. 1 Metalfoes monster plus 2 monsters with 3,000 or less attack. Considering that they cannot respond to Super Poly, any Metalfoes monster plus Super Poly is just a lava golem, except you get the 3k body. And then also, you know, there's Adamante as well, which is like also pretty good. But yeah, Super Poly obviously is an insane card for this specific festival here. And Metalfoes has some very good targets. I threw some other ones in here, just random cards that I had. They haven't really come up, but it's just, if it does, it does. But you're not really filling out extra deck completely with Metalfoes, unless you just want to play 3 of all of the monsters, but that's not entirely necessary. 2 Alcahest is plenty. I didn't feel like crafting a 3rd one. 3 Mithrilium I would recommend, but, you know, 2 Orichalc, and then 1 each of Adamante and Crimsonite, and then there's a Zortless. It's alright, but, I mean, this is not your main game plan here, you know. So yeah, that's the deck. Let's go ahead and just jump into a game real quick, see how it goes. Jumping into the game here. This hand is interesting, and it looks like our opponent is going first. They're going to Windmill Slam, Fusion Destiny down, Dasher and Celestial for a Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer. Totally not sick of seeing this card already. And it looks like they're playing Lunalite? I'll just summon that. Pass. Cool, I have Super Poly, so all I need to do is normal summon the Silvered. They will attempt to max C here. I can just Super Poly in response to get around them drawing a card here. And this will clean up their entire board. I can make a Crimsonite here. And I'll just discard the Vanisher here because I don't really intend to use it. It being in the graveyard is as good as any place. I'll try to Summoner's Art to get a Metalfoes scale to my hand. But unfortunately, they have the Ash. Cool, so maybe I shouldn't have discarded the Vanisher. Oh well. I can just attack over this, and then I forgore that I had already normal summoned, so I Bismugear pop the Crimsonite to set a combination, intending to summon the Majesty Maiden over it, getting another Metalfoes to hand, but yeah, that's how that goes. They'll Dasher for the Gamma Seal here, and it appears that they cannot clear the last card from their hand for some reason, so they don't get the draw 2 off of Celestial. Just less that I have to deal with, I suppose. Passing it back to me, I can activate this combination here and then just pop it with the Bismugear, and we'll just get the ball rolling again. Alright. So I'll set a Parametalfoes Fusion. Combination will activate to get me a Melcaster to hand. I can scale this Melcaster, use it to pop the Bismugear. Bismugear will get its effect to search at end phase, and I can set a Fusion. Cool. Alright, I'll scale the Steelin. That'll leave me with a 1 to 8 scale, so I can Pendulum Summon here. From the extra deck, I will Pendulum Summon Silvered, and I'll Pendulum Summon Majesty Maiden. I don't really intend to Tribute Summon that with no continuous spells and traps here. I'll Fusion Summon for Mithrilium, using Parametalfoes Fusion here, and then I'll put the Parametalfoes Fusion and the combination back into the deck to bounce Melcaster, activate Melcaster again, and I can now activate its effect again to pop Mithrilium and set a combination. Now, Mithrilium, when it's sent to the graveyard, I can summon Vanisher and banish the Gamma Seal. Cool. Steelin will set a counter. Now Melcaster's effect will activate. I can add Silvered back to my hand for later. I'll just get in for quite a bit of damage here. Main phase 2, I can activate the Fusion using the Silvered in my hand and the Vanisher on field. This will get me to none other than full Metalfoes Alcahest. And then Fusion, draw a card. I'll just end up drawing a full Metalfoes Fusion, set it, end phase, grab a Volflame. Cool. They will have 2 cards in hand here. Let's see what they can do with it. Dark World Dealings, that's a -1, cool. They will discard Yellow Marten and get a trap card here. They will set the trap card, and they still cannot get the last card out of their hand to draw 2 with Celestial. I really wonder what that card could possibly be. Too bad we won't be finding out here because we have Lethal on board. I'll Tribute Summon the Ignis over the combination. Combination will get me a Metalfoes to hand. They will chain Serenade Dance, but that's just going to get me a spell to the field. I'll use Heritage off of the Ignis. Now, Serenade Dance isn't doing anything at the moment, and I don't intend to Fusion Summon, so I can just go ahead and steal in, pop the Heritage, set a Fusion, Heritage effect in the graveyard, destroy the Serenade Dance, go battle phase, and 23 in with Majesty Maiden, lethal with Ignis. Alright, so if you enjoyed this replay, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe for future content, and comment in the comment section below what your favorite Metalfoes variant is. Thank you. See you next week.